Hello.
I got the packet out and I stuffed it in his face and I said, ham. And he went, no, underneath it says it's not on the bone. And I went, yeah, but it says ham there. So how is it they can sell it for ham and I can't? And he went, no, yeah, because it. And I went, I said, you just.
What'd you say, Brian? What'd you say?
I said you're just splitting hairs.
Yeah,
now.
splitting hairs.
I said, and that to me, I said, that's just, it's not right.
Get out, Piggy.
Yeah, so piss off. And luckily,
Hello. I could eat about 1.5 million of these.
Well, nobody's perfect.
Welcome to the It's a Drama podcast.
Daddy, I love him.
My mother thanks you.
If you can't say something nice.
All right, Mr. DeMille, I'm ready for my close-up.
Hello and welcome to the It's a Drama podcast. I'm Liz.
and I'm Brian.
We are husband and wife and we talk about travel, family, food, making money online and creating the ultimate independent lifestyle that many of us crave. And today we're going to be talking to you about our trip to Wellington.
Yeah, we promised you a trip
done.
to Wellington, didn't we?
How professional is this, Bri? We
I
told
don't
them
know.
we were going to do something and we're here doing it.
Yeah. We've read the first bit of the show, so that's really professional because we never have a script, do we, Liz?
Yeah, but I don't know if you've noticed now, the last couple of shows, we've made this little intro that we've just read out to you. It sounds good though, doesn't it?
Yeah, but we're actually trying to figure out what is it that we do. I know we entertain people and stuff like that because we are It's a Drama, the itsadrama.com. You can go there and check it all out there as well. But it's good to have like a tagline of what actually you do for people.
Oh, Bri, where did you learn that line? Where did you learn that little bit of language? Tagline, there you go, look.
Yeah,
Hey?
probably from Pat Flynn on...
No, you're right. It's just, we're trying to, if you've been following us for a while, that we go through all different topics that we talk about, like we've been talking for ages about writing my book. And last year we went traveling in Europe and we talked all about travel. So we just thought, how about we take all of those things? And that's what most people do in
This is
life, is talk
isn't it?
about all of
Yeah.
those things.
As you go through life, this is what it is, isn't it? The fun stuff that you
So
come
we're
up with.
very proud of our new tagline. But how have you been? Have you been waiting for us to come back from Wellington and to tell you all about how much it cost? Because I tell you what, we have been itching to do this episode. Yesterday I wanted to do it and Brian's like, no, I've got to fix the car today. I can't do it today.
No, I was actually doing your audiobook, Liz.
Oh, yeah,
'cause
sorry,
I was, there's hours and hours of audiobook to edit and go through and sort all that stuff out. For me to do a 24-minute chapter of the audiobook takes me, feels like 24 hours, takes me about 6 hours, 4 to 6 hours just to go through and edit and move the gaps and put them closer and just take out breaths and stuff like that.
Well, what do you mean breaths? If you're new to this program and you haven't got a clue what we're talking about, what this is I've just released a book called The Travel Bog Diaries. It is a book about traveling the world with your family. Me and Brian took the kids traveling the world on a budget of 100 New Zealand dollars a day. And I came home and wrote this book about it all. And at the moment, Brian is doing the audio.
You've done the hard bit, which is the recording of the audio.
Well, that's what I just wanted to share with the audience, Bri, because I'm going to tell the truth now, right? So I honestly thought that doing an audiobook would just be like doing this.
Yeah, it would take 20 hours. That would be it.
I just thought, read your chapter, and then Brian can put it all together. I mean, I know your part is the most difficult part and everything, but I just thought it wouldn't be that hard. But I'll tell you what. Well, the first time I did it, I spent about 6 hours reading 6 chapters. And I listened back to it, and I swear to God, it sounded like Mary Poppins. It sounded like Julie Andrews. It was like, honestly, it was so embarrassing.
It was a little bit too clipped.
Yeah, it was like
too friendly and fairy tale.
It was bright,
Yeah,
and I was trying so hard to be like a proper reader. So it was sounding a little bit like this. I always wanted to take my children to New York, and it was always part of my bartering power. And I listened back to it and I thought, who is that? And I played it to Tess, big mistake. And she said, oh no, that just does not sound like you. Don't have that. She said, do you know what she said? She said, for a start, you sound like you're only about 25.
That's nice.
Well, that's a big compliment.
Yeah.
But then when you look at the cover and read all the stuff that's going on inside the book, it didn't match up,
Yeah.
So then I did it all again. Well, I did the next...
I think this comes down to when you were a kid, you listened to Felicity Kendal once, didn't you?
Oh, I love Felicity Kendal.
Yeah.
And I love...
What was the name of the book?
My Naughty Little Sister.
There you go.
Yeah, yeah. And that was brilliant. We had it on a record, a big LP.
Oh, is it? Oh, really?
Yeah.
I was just thinking, what was it, a CD or tapes back then? But,
no, it was on a big LP, and me and my brother and sister would listen to it at the top of the landing. We'd plug the record player in, and we'd listen to it, and it would always start off, and she'd say, "My Naughty Little Sister" by Felicity Kendall. And then she would just read it, and it was always like, I loved her voice. And yeah, you're right. I was probably trying to copy, trying to sound
Felicity,
too posh. So then I did it all again. And because Tess said, just be yourself. She said, just think of that. Who's that lovely actress that I love?
Kristen Scott Thomas?
No, she is. She
Emma
is
Thompson?
Posh. I love Emma Thompson. But no, the dark-haired one that looks like this. Like that.
Olivia Colman.
Yeah.
Olivia Colman.
You can't see because you're listening, but then I just
Imagine put your teeth out a little bit. Sorry, Olivia. We love you.
Oh yeah. So then Tess said, just imagine Olivia Colman and just keep it real. So then I did it again, and I'm not joking. When you played it back to me, it was like listening to Vera Duckworth from Coronation Street. It was like, I always wanted me children to go to New York, and I had some good bartering power. I was just like, what the hell?
Sorry, Vera.
Sorry, anyone from Lancashire. While we're talking about Lancashire, a big shout out to my Auntie Marie and Ava, her granddaughter. We've just heard that you're listening to the show from Darwin in Lancashire.
Yeah, and
love
Liz,
you so much, Marie, and a big hello to you.
Ava, I can't believe that you thought when you saw Liz's picture on the front of the book, you said, how I didn't think she was that young. I thought she was an old woman.
Well, this is the thing, Bri. This is the thing.
It's the other way around, isn't it, when it's not your kids?
We've just listened to someone on a podcast. It's funny enough you should say this. Me and Bri just went out for a drive, and we were listening to a podcast, and it was Lewis Howes, and he was interviewing, what's he called, that really...
Eckhart Tolle, is it? Eckhart Tolle.
Oh, we should know this.
Eckhart,
we should know this.
It's Eckhart.
I know it's Eckhart.
Yeah.
Don't just look at me as if like...
He's that German guy from...
what's his surname? Eckhart who?
Tolle.
Is it Tolle? Have you got that right?
It's Tolle. So how you pronounce that? It's German, don't forget.
Okay.
So I'm thinking the French way.
We were listening to him, and it was a fantastic interview, and he's written some brilliant books. And we were listening to this interview, and it was brilliant. And we said, when we finished it, we said, how old do you think he is? And you said...
you said 65. I said 60. Oh, listening to his age, I said it sounds like he's an old man. Like, he's probably in his 70s or something like that, or an older man.
Yeah. And we went and looked on YouTube because, you want to see someone. And he looks flipping fantastic.
I know.
He only looks about 55.
I know, because we said the
and
maximum
he's 75,
because he was
isn't he?
like, 75. And the maximum you said was 65. I said 62, because he probably is that bit old because he sounds older.
Have you got to the age now, Bri, where you look at other people, right, and judge and try and guess their age, and then when you're guessing their age, compare yourself?
Yes, I do.
Do you? Yeah.
Well, that's not natural, isn't it?
Well, no, it's not actually, because you didn't do that when you were 18, did you? You didn't look at other 18-year-olds and go, she looks older than me or younger than me.
No, but it just depends the last time you looked in the mirror properly, doesn't it?
Yeah,
with your glasses on.
When do you get to that age, though? Because I do it all the time. I look at people and I find out she's 52 and I think, doesn't look like this.
I'm doing all right.
Yeah, not doing bad.
Let's see you on the toilet.
Anyway, so what was I saying? I can't even remember what I was talking about. So, going back to the audiobook. So my third attempt is the one you're going to get, because I tell you what, I'm not doing it again.
No, because we've spent about 3 days now recording stuff that we've not used. Yeah.
I know. So I'm sorry to waste your time, Bri, but it has to be right. And this one that I've done now, like Bri just said, we've spent a total of about 40 hours, me just stood in that flipping wardrobe. I've told you before, we've got a walk-in wardrobe with clothes like when I say walk-in wardrobe,
it's a walk-in closet.
Yeah, I was going to say, don't be thinking anything big and massive.
Yeah, it's not,
What, it's about 2 foot by 2 foot?
No, it's 2 meters by 2 meters. So 8 foot by 8 foot nearly.
Oh, really? Is it that big?
Yes.
That's the size of a single room in England when you buy a house.
No, yeah, a single, it
is.
A single room.
Remember when you used to go and look
8'6"
at houses
wide.
for sale, and it would be like, what size is the box room? 8 foot by 8 foot. And you think, it's not bad. You can get a bed in there.
Yeah.
And
Well, yeah, but it's not quite. It's to me 2.4 would be. It's more like 7 foot by 7 foot. I would say.
I don't think you know what you're talking about. Actually, I think it's about
because 2.4 is 8.
No, I know,
but
but what I'm saying, it's about 5. I'm 5'4", and there's no way I could just about lay down in there. So I'm reckoning.
No, yeah, but you've got to remember that there's cupboards and shelves in there, so it doesn't feel as big, does it?
Anyway, so stuffed in that little closet, me and Vera and and Felicity Kendall, depending on which person I want to be. And we've been spending the last 40 hours in there, the three of us together, deciding who's going to speak into the microphone.
Who's having a go on this one?
Come on, Vera, step up. But yeah, the one I've done is the one you're going to get. So hopefully that audiobook will be ready. How long do you think, Brian? A few weeks?
Do you know
months,
what? Probably
years?
sometime in August, because by the time it goes through Audible, it can take up to 2 weeks to go through the vetting process, however they do it. Because you've got to do all these levels. They've got to be super duper. This got to be in between minus 18 and 24 decibels and negative 3 as a high decibels. So you've just got to make everything work at that.
So our trip to Wellington. Let's talk about it, shall we, Brian?
Yeah.
So last week we told you about how we were desperate to get away for a few days. And we decided to go, we wanted to go to Wellington to combine it with a break and also to see our daughter, Tessa, who's down there.
Where is Wellington, Liz?
On the North Island.
Of where?
New Zealand.
Does anybody know that?
Oh, here we go. What?
Oh, I don't know.
Actually, do you know what? There is
another person like me.
Do you know what, Brian? I've got to say, I'm just going to say this now. I'm just going to say it, right? Can you stop twizzing round on that office chair? Because I don't know what it is.
It's not as good as that one in Wellington, though, is it?
Yeah.
You could go around the whole house on that.
He's
if you wanted
sitting
to.
opposite me. You've got your elbows on the arm and he keeps twizzing round. You know, like if you were going for a job interview and there's someone really cocky interviewing you.
Like David Brent.
No, just like that. Just sit still because it's going to have a negative... Stop
I'm
it.
doing my baits technique for my eyes. There we go.
So, yeah, we decided to go down to Wellington and have a little breakaway. And when we looked into accommodation, it was like knocking on $1,000, basically. It was knocking up $750, $800. And we thought, oh, no, we're not paying that. By the time you've paid everything else, it's going to be an expensive weekend. So we looked into we're big house sitters. We're huge fans of house sitting. I jumped on the house sitting website, saw if there was anything available. There was a house down there to look after a cat in a beautiful little village in Wellington called Eastbourne, just outside Wellington. And we went and house sit. And we promised to come back this week and tell you all about it.
Yep.
And how much it cost. So, first of all, I want to ask you and tell the truth.
Yep. Can I twist?
No, sit still. Did you have a relaxing weekend?
Not really.
Oh, really? Why? Oh, God.
Well, because...
Didn't even think about that, did you?
Thanks, Liz.
Honestly, right?
Just because, I don't know, sometimes a short break, it just felt like I was doing a lot of driving, which I love driving anyway, so it's not a problem. So I think you just need a bit more than 3 days away. I think we at the moment need more than 3 days away, but we wanted to go down and see Tess and everything like that. So it was more just the fact that we were going there and you would just be mum and dad there, which is what we wanted to go and do. That was the whole
Not really,
idea.
though, was it, Brian? Not really.
Yeah, but it was not a holiday.
I know.
It was just to go and see Tess.
Is there any possible way that you can combine being a mum and dad and make it a holiday?
No. Yeah, but you can't, can you?
You can't
It's
really.
like,
Yeah.
not being horrible to Tess. We really wanted to see her and everything. It was great to see her because we haven't seen her for nearly a month now, haven't we? And it was just, that side of it is lovely, but at the end of the day, it's not a break from the norm, is it? Because
Well, it is a break from the norm because you're not here. But I know what you mean. I think what it is. The way I felt about it is, you're conscious of having a good time because you're sharing it with Tess.
Yeah.
Whereas if it was just me and you, we'd just be like, I don't know.
Yeah,
it's
but
just
you want it to be
easier.
right. That's why.
Yeah, you
and
do.
sometimes
You want
can
it
go
to
a
be
little bit
right.
like this, and it's always the way. By the time you get there and you're kind of what they say is like decompressing a little bit, just getting up to speed where Tess is in her life. It's half the holiday's gone through, and it's like, well, we haven't done anything. We haven't just sat and had a meal together,
Well,
and stuff like
Brian,
that.
actually,
what?
We did have a meal
Yeah,
together,
we
didn't
did.
we?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
So we're just going to tell you, we're just going to run through. First of all, I wanted to tell you, last week I told you about the description on the house sitting website. Do you remember? So the lady put the pictures up of the house sit and it looked lovely. And she said, it's 2 minutes walk from the beach. You can get a ferry over to Wellington. Her exact words were, "You are going to feel like you're on holiday." She said, "There's a big window seat that overlooks the sea and everything, and you're gonna feel like you're on holiday." And we promised to come back this week and tell you, whether that was the case. You didn't ask me, by the way, if I feel as if I had a break.
Oh, Liz, when you went to Wellington, did you feel like you had a break?
Not really, no.
Okay.
So anyway, on our way down there.
She's copying me now.
I want to be cool like you, Fry. On our way down there, we get a text from the lady. So this was one of the easiest house sits I've ever done, because usually when you house sit, it is quite common for the house sitters to want to meet you, which is fair enough, because you're going to be living in their house and looking after their pets.
Some places you've got to go the night before because they might be away early in the morning to the train station or the airport or something like that. So you normally have something to eat with them and just get to know them, because at the end of the day, some people want to know who's coming in the house.
Yeah.
But some people are really cool and don't want you. Don't need
do you know
to
who I find to be the most? And I'm not just saying this because we live in New Zealand.
Yeah.
I think we should put that in our tagline, by the way. Ooh. Coming to you from New Zealand. I don't know.
People are well easy.
Yeah. Pardon?
People are well easy.
Yeah. Listen, Brian, well easy. No, what I was going to say was the house sitters that we've sat for in New Zealand.
Yes.
Probably all of them, apart from those ones in Snell's Beach, all of them have been just help yourself.
The keys in the mailbox,
the keys in the mailbox,
or whatever. Yeah.
So we get a message on our way down to Wellington. The lady said, "We're leaving now. The key is in the letterbox." She said,
"We'll give you a wave as we pass you."
Yeah, we'll give you a wave as we pass you on the motorway. She said, "I've got you some." Do you know what she said?
What?
She said, "I've got you stuff for breakfast. Some basic groceries. I've left them in the fridge." And she said, "Just these were her words. She said, "Just help yourself to anything you want to eat or," mind you, she didn't know who it was coming, did she? Right? No. "Help yourself to anything you want to eat or drink when you get there." Place was just ransacked.
Yeah. Put all the stuff in the car. So you've got nothing in there now.
So anyway, she just said, "Just help yourself to anything you want." So we turn up, we get to this village. I don't know if it's a village or town. It's called Eastbourne.
It's a little small town, I would say.
It's very, very lovely.
Yeah. It's more like a village, but it's
lovely.
obviously Eastbourne, so it's a seaside town.
It's expensive, isn't it, Bri? The shops are nice, super, the little four squares, super nice.
Yeah, there's just a tiny row of shops either side, isn't there? And down a little street, there's a couple of cafes and there's actually a liquor store there.
Yeah, florists and things like that. Anyway, we turned up, so she wasn't there. The key was in the letterbox. We walked into the house, right? You walk in, you open the kitchen door, wood flooring, a big, massive bench, island bench, polished wood bench, beautiful, brand new kitchen, windows all around, overlooking the sea down to across the bay to Wellington. She'd left a bar of chocolate, really nice chocolate as well, not cheap stuff, like really good stuff.
No, it was the Whittaker's.
Whittaker's our favourite.
That's what we're eating at the moment.
Yeah. And she'd left a bar of chocolate and a little note saying, "Just help yourself to anything. Here's the instructions, here's the phone number in case anything goes wrong." Little cat comes in, meow, like
coconut.
this. Coconut, beautiful cat. And I am not kidding you, and I think you're going to agree with me when you say this, Bri. It was the cleanest house sit I've ever been to.
It's one of the cleanest houses I've ever been in, I think.
Oh, really?
No, it was really clean, wasn't it? Yeah. Everything was just like...
What is the cleanest house you've ever been to, by the way?
Obviously not this house that we live in.
Really nice, Bri, nice. Go on.
Yeah. I've worked in some houses where they're a bit... they must have had a bit of a...
Disorder?
A cleaning disorder, because...
I'd love one of those. I'd love it if you...
You've
got
honestly,
a bit of one.
everything had its place, and there wasn't, not even a speck of dust. So now imagine you've got to go and rip people's carpets up and put a heating system in. Horrendous job.
See, here's the thing though, Brian.
Here's
the thing, because you have got, and I don't mean this in a cruel way, I mean it, in the most nicest way.
No, I think you should actually
Brian,
just...
Can you just let me finish,
please?
Let me finish. Just let me finish.
Yeah, okay.
I mean this in the nicest way possible, because it is, very nice being married to someone that likes clean things and stuff. But the impression that I get from you, Brian, is that you like things to be nice and clean and spick and span and tidy and clean. I'm very clean, actually. So what what my question is to you is, how could you go into a house that was super tidy and clean and spick and span and feel a little bit uncomfortable? Because surely that would be your ideal.
No, because like if it could have finished, you're about to put a heating system in, so you're going to make lots of dust and mess and just everything. So even at the end of it, when we cleaned up, she came in and started cleaning up again.
Did she?
And then in the morning, she cleaned up again.
Did
So
she?
she put the vacuum around before we left, and then before she went to work the next day, she put the vacuum around again.
Oh.
That's a bit weird, isn't it?
Well, no, not really, because some people just like to vacuum. I'll tell you what.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what made me laugh. When we turned up at Tessa's flat, flipping immaculate, wasn't it? And all I was thinking was, I'm sorry, but your room...
Have you still seen the state of your wardrobe?
Yeah, exactly. And you know what she said?
It's just
She
a
said,
mess.
I said, oh, it's lovely and tidy in here. She said, yeah, well, if you want things to be kept tidy, you need to keep on top of it. Oh, you cheeky sod. Anyway, so that aside, going away from that,
Have you seen Sonny's room?
I'm not even going.
Sonny's gone down to Christchurch at the moment,
I'm
and
not
I
even
walked
going in there.
He's got a keyboard, a piano in the corner, and that's the only space like that's left, I think, and it's just piled with clothes.
Yeah, but you know what, don't you? Because he's coming back with his girlfriend, so I reckon he's going to come back. I reckon he's going to run in there and clean that room top to bottom before Han comes in. He won't let Han.
Or
see
he'll
it
just
like
stay
that.
over at Hannah's.
Yeah,
one of the two.
Anyway, so now we've finished
Kids, eh?
slagging off the kids.
Told you it was about family.
Anyway, so going back to this house sit, you just walked in. It was just flipping beautiful, and we were like, "Where's our room?" Because they hadn't said, what room you're going to be staying in.
It was like going in to a really nice Airbnb.
It was,
wasn't it?
It was
because it just felt like you were going on holiday. The bed's all made up for you, everything's done, like clean towels on the towel rail. It had a full central heating system. It didn't have a wood burner or anything like that, but it was lovely and warm in there, wasn't it? It was really nice.
And you know how she said about there was a window seat? There was a lovely window seat.
It was a great window seat, that.
Yeah, and I sat in it so much. And as soon as you sat down on it and you could put your feet up, so it was like one of those that you can lay in, where you put your feet up and it's like an L shaped. So you could,
it was right in the corner, wasn't it?
Yeah,
so.
One person could sit that side, I could sit this side, or, and we just chat. And as soon as we did that, the cat would just jump up and just come and snuggle down. Oh, it was flipping lovely. It was so nice. And they were so easygoing. Like I say, we didn't hear from them all weekend. We didn't hear from them. It was just, some house sitters, they like you to send photo. They'll say, oh,
send
how's
a video,
the cat doing?
Send a photo.
Yeah, which is fair enough.
Yeah,
right?
but I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that. Yeah.
Anyway, but this little cat that we were looking after was absolutely lovely. But yeah, it was just absolutely fantastic. But we just thought we'd give you a breakdown of the cost about how much. Don't look.
What 3 nights in Wellington costs? So it's leaving New Plymouth to Wellington and back again, isn't it?
We left New Plymouth on the Thursday morning.
Yep.
We drove down to Wellington,
which is about 400k.
Yep. We had Thursday night down there. We went. Well, first of all, we went to meet Tess in town. We went out for something to eat, and then we went back to the house. So we had Thursday night, all day Friday, Friday night, all day Saturday, Saturday night, all day Sunday, drove back Sunday night.
Yep.
How much do you think it cost?
Well, shall I tell how much the fuel costs, or are you going to tell?
I want you to have a guess how much the whole thing costs. How much have we spent?
I kind of know.
Oh, do you?
Yes.
Why? How?
Yeah. Because we talked about it.
Oh, did we?
Yes.
When?
The other day. And
who are you again?
we kind of figured it out.
Have you cleaned up yet, Brian?
I would say probably somewhere in the region of $800, eh?
Oh, there you go, Brian.
Yeah.
So you're wrong. Because it wasn't. Have a look at my notes. What does that say?
There we go.
$900.
Yeah.
Flipping out, Brian. $900 for 4 days?
For 4 days away.
What are we doing?
What exactly were we doing?
Exactly. Well, I'm going to tell you exactly what we were doing.
What were we doing,
Brian.
Liz?
Yeah.
So
I'm going to break it down for you, Brian.
You break it down. Go on.
Because that's an awful lot of money, Brian.
Well,
Is it?
It's in the UK for 3 nights away for £450, or if you're in the US, it would be
$500 US.
$700 US, something like that.
No, about
600 US. Yeah, 600 US it would be.
600 US, is it?
And about £450 pounds
for 3 nights. So Thursday, Friday, 3 nights and 4 days away.
Yeah,
$900. But we weren't paying for any accommodation.
I know.
It was free. Our accommodation, because we were house sitting, was free. And this was our whole point, was had we paid, well, I'm going to tell you in a minute because I worked it out. I went on to the Airbnb.
Yeah.
Now I knew what the sort of house we were staying in. I went on to Airbnb and I found an exact same house in exactly the same location, and I saw how much it would be. And I'll tell you how much it'll be in a bit. But our $900, do you want to break it down how much it was?
Yeah.
So how much did we spend on petrol and road user?
So petrol is actually diesels because we took the diesel car down, and we were doing about 5.6 litres to 100k. So we used around about $96 in fuel. And then in New Zealand, because you get cheaper diesel, you then pay a road user, which is every 1,000 kilometres you do, you pay $50.
That's a rip-off.
Well, no, because normal, like petrol to put in the Peugeot.
It's a trick. No, I know.
No, but petrol to put in the Peugeot is $3 a gallon nearly at the moment.
Yes.
And I'm paying $1.99 for diesel.
Yeah, you're paying $1.99 for diesel,
Yeah.
but then you're paying road user. It's a rip-off.
So like I said, if I took the Peugeot, which does about 7.6, because it's not the just petrols aren't as economical as diesels, so it does about 7.6 to 100k. So it would have cost me probably $210 to $220. Sorry, $220 instead of $146.
I know why you're
So
saying
it's a big
this.
saving.
I know why you're saying this because you want me to think that it's a good thing that we've got a diesel car, but I don't.
No, but
I don't really think it is because you're paying road users, and that's a rip-off. It's all very well saying, "Oh yeah, diesel's cheap." Anyway, we're getting off topic.
No, but what I'm saying, it saved us to take the Skoda, saved us $60 plus
Right. Saved us on what?
in cost.
On what?
Well, like I said,
Compared to what? All right, okay, taking the Peugeot. I know.
Diesel $2
I know,
a litre,
yes.
or petrol
I know.
$3 a litre.
But if we'd have walked, we'd have saved $146.
Yeah, we would have just got there probably by now.
$146. We couldn't have done it cheaper on the bus because we've just put my niece on the my mum put my niece on the bus, and that was $112 return from Wellington for one person. So at least we know we're cheaper than the bus.
Yeah, but imagine if you lived in France, you'd be paying on a 1,000k road trip. Because we did about 200k when we were down there. So even on an 800k road trip, it would have cost you probably €40 in tolls. If you're in the USA, it would have probably been a bit cheaper because petrol's cheaper over there. But in England, to do a 600-mile road trip for £75, it's not a lot, is it? It's pretty good.
Would you say that when you talk about petrol and cars and diesel and things like that, would you say that you get emotional and get a little bit wound up, Bri? Because I can sense a little bit of a.
It's costs of things have gone up so much, and people say, "Oh, electric cars." Yeah, I can't afford an electric car at the moment. You can turn around and go, "Oh, well, that could have gone towards your electric car," but
is that what it is? Do you feel like you should have an electric car?
No,
and
like
you're trying to justify
John, the
that,
next door neighbour, has got a plug-in hybrid.
Don't say his real name.
Well,
what if he listens
John,
to this?
Yeah, but but he quite smugly said to me, I haven't put petrol in since September.
Right.
I said, well, how much did your car cost you, John? He said $80,000.
Yeah.
I went, well, mine only cost me $10,000.
Oh, is that what you said?
So
It
it's
like?
70,000
What did John
difference.
do then? Is this before he left us that nice jar of jam in the post box,
Yeah,
or
we
after?
left some avocados. So what do you...
What the? Oh, God, Christ!
Yeah, but I did say to him, don't forget, it's still, your electric car is still powered by Huntley Power Station, which is powered by coal.
Do you think it's safe to say that you feel a little bit inadequate because you can't afford to buy an electric car?
Yeah, I'd love an electric car. If someone said, hello, Mr. Tesla, hello, Elon, if you'd like to sponsor
Do you know
my
what, Brian?
podcast.
My book, I'll tell you this now, my book is going to shoot to the top of the charts. When we do this audiobook, they're going to be like, wow, I've never heard Vera and Felicity.
Vera and Jack.
Vera and Felicity mixed together so well in all my life.
Yeah.
And I'm going to buy
You'd
you a
swear-
Tesla one day,
yeah.
Brian, I promise.
They
And
would
I will
swear
stop
they were in the
teasing
room.
you. Yeah.
It wouldn't have to be a Tesla. I like the Hyundai do. Is it an EV6? That's quite
Anyway,
nice.
so going back to how much we've spent in Wellington, so that's $146 on petrol. We also paid $18. I think this is a bit a lot. $18 for parking, and it was really annoying.
Oh, I know, it was really.
It was really annoying, that, Bri, because we parked up for the day on the Saturday, didn't we?
No, it was on the Thursday. Well, we got there on the Thursday, didn't we?
No, it wasn't when we parked up for the day on the Friday, rather.
Right.
Yeah, we parked up and we paid a whole $18 to park for the whole day. And then we were in town for 2 hours and Tess said, let's go for a drive out of Wellington. All I could think was, I'm sorry, what a waste of $18 that was.
It would have still cost us probably about $10. But just think about it though, Liz, and this is New Zealand again. Wellington is the capital city of New Zealand, yeah? And it costs you $18 to park your car.
All day.
Just slightly outside the CBD. You're only talking 100 metres, aren't you?
Big steep hill that though, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I'm
Killed
still
my thighs
saying
walking up that.
$18, £9.
Yeah, $18 and we didn't get our money's
£9 an
worth.
hour in London.
Also, all I was thinking when I was in the back of the car driving around, when you two were sitting in the front having a nice time listening to your music, all I was thinking was $18.
Put Vera in the back.
wasted my $18.
What is it that Tess has got to the age where she runs to the front of the car and just sits in there?
It's not that. Do you know what? I actually quite like sitting in the back of the car because when you sit in the back of the car, you just feel like you're being chauffeur driven around everywhere. That's all.
Yeah.
I just wind down the window and I pretend that I'm the queen
And you've
I'm
got a
just being
heated
driven
seat in the
around by
back,
you.
haven't you? Yeah, by the king.
Yeah, I do. So, all right, so we spent $18, so that's that. And, right, okay, you're not going to be able to believe this.
Go on.
How much do you think we spent over 4 days, right, on tea and coffee? Bearing in mind how
just
much
tea
a
and
jar of
coffee.
coffee is
Yeah.
and how much a bag of tea bags is.
Yeah,
how much did we spend, Bri, going around cafes? And this is just tea and coffee. This is no food.
Yeah, because a bag of organic coffee, organic beans in New Zealand from New Plymouth costs $7. So, and that would last you 4 or 5 days, wouldn't it, of coffee? So
there we are. We're going down to Wellington. And you've got to remember this is for 3 of us, okay? So this makes me feel a little bit better because this is for 3 of us. But this is just tea and coffees over 4 days. How much?
Probably $40.
Try doubling it.
Really? Hey, try doubling it. Pounds.
Try doubling it, Bri. $80
just in tea and coffee.
$80 just in tea and coffee.
Wow. So,
I know.
See, and if you were staying at home in 3 days, even if you went every day, would have only spent $30, wouldn't we?
So how much is a cappuccino? $5.50?
$5.50,
So
something like that.
if you're listening,
standard cappuccino.
I was going to say, if you're listening from the US, that's about four US, and if you're listening from England or from the UK, then £2.50, $2.70.
£3 max.
Which I don't get me started on this.
It's about the same, isn't it? Really?
For a tea bag, it's a
well,
rip-off.
not for a tea bag because
I know, but that's what you're paying for the
tend to drink
same.
coffee when you go out, don't we?
Yeah, but that's quite a few teas. Anyway, so we spent $80 on tea and coffee.
Yeah.
It soon mounts up that, Bri.
I know, but you want to go and sit down and have a relax, don't you? That's the
know.
whole idea of being away, because otherwise you must as well just stay at home.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then what else, Liz?
Okay. So how much do you think? And again, we've got to just let you know this is for 3 people because every night
Tess
we ate
was
with
us.
Tess
Yeah.
and also took her out for lunch. And
Yeah.
she took us out for lunch one time. That's not including this.
No.
Which was so lovely. I
I know, because she's only on
$24
$24
so
an hour or
independent,
something.
isn't she?
Yeah.
She just
I'm
wouldn't let
buying
me
this. I
pay,
said,
I
no, you're
know.
not. And she wouldn't let me pay. And then Finlay actually took us out. We met them and for morning coffee, didn't they? And he paid for that as well.
Yeah. So anyway, that aside, that's not in count. We're not taking that into account. So how much do you think we've spent for 3 people eating out? We ate out on Thursday night. Well, Thursday afternoon, late Thursday afternoon, we had, I'll tell you about that in a minute. So we ate out Thursday, Friday, and Sunday we got a takeaway and brought it home and for me, you and Sunny. So 3 nights, three nights eating out meals and lunch one day, no, lunch 2 days.
I'm getting confused myself now.
Yeah, well, Brian, how much do you reckon? We ate a lot, put it that way.
Oh, if you divide it by the
No,
900.
come on, Brian. How much?
I don't know, $400.
Oh, good boy.
Yeah.
406.
There you go.
$406, Brian.
Yeah.
For 3 people.
For 3, yeah. But that's not bad, is it?
Is it not?
Well, not in the current...
£200.
Yeah, but
300 US.
look how much things have gone up now, and everything's gone up by probably 30% in the last year or so, hasn't it, for some unknown reason?
I'm just seeing how much $400 is. So $400 is £195 and it's $247 for 3 people to eat out. See, when you put it like that, it doesn't sound a lot,
doesn't sound
it?
as bad, does it? Like, you know, I mean, the New Zealand dollar's not that strong, is it? Like, you know, against other currencies. Yeah.
All right, so that's meals. So that was the main chunk of our money was eating out, which it does cost you a lot of money to eat out, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
If you couldn't, right. And then the last bit was food shopping, because on the Saturday night, we wanted to cook a meal for Tess. I don't know if you remember us saying this to you last week, but what we really wanted to do, to be honest, I wasn't interested in going out for dinner at all in any of the place, you know.
Yeah.
All I wanted to do was have Tess come back to the house sit. But she wanted to go out into town and, you know.
She wanted to show us where she lives.
Yeah, she did,
and
which is fair
you
enough.
know, all these things and everything. Because she's always taking, I remember the last picture she sent me, or little video she sent me, she was out the week before, and there was an old sort of fashion DJ playing old-fashioned songs in like a bar, and it was just like a real retro-y bar, wasn't it? Like, you know, and it was like she was taking pictures of the turntables and stuff, and I was just like, we've got to go here.
So we went out, but the Saturday night we said, look, you come round and we'll cook for you. And she brought Finlay, her boyfriend, so there was 4 of us. So how much do you think then? Well, actually,
I know
you
because
know how much
I
it
went
was.
out and bought all the stuff and cooked all the meal.
Yeah, well, no, I helped you.
Yeah,
Didn't cook all the meal.
Oh, I did.
Well, no, you didn't.
All right.
What? Who did all the chips? Go on. Who did all the chips? Answer.
You listed
Thank you, Brian.
actually listed all the chips.
Oh, sorry. No, hang on a minute. Who did all the salad to start? Hey,
What salad to start?
the mozzarella and tomato salad.
Me?
No.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
Who did the garlic bread?
Me? Yes, I did.
You
saw
are
me.
such
you
a
saw
liar,
me.
Brian.
You saw me cut all the bread up and put it in the oven.
Stop trying to make out to everyone that you're like this flipping perfect person and I don't do anything, because you're making me feel really bad. I helped you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Liz helped me.
Clean freak.
Yeah.
Right. You were in the you were in the bathroom giving it a good going over. Anyway, so Bri went to the supermarket, because I went out for the day with Tess on the Saturday. Bri went to the supermarket and we had the most delicious meal. I cooked the lot. It was delicious. Brian just sat there with his feet up. We had mozzarella, tomato and sun-dried tomato and basil salad to start with garlic bread.
Yes.
That was divine.
That was really good.
And my mouth's watering. And then we had 4 huge, delicious, juicy, succulent, tender steaks.
Yeah.
And we served that with pepper sauce. And did we do like little roast potatoes or did we do chips?
We
did
didn't
chips, didn't we?
we did chips because it was just sort of
Let's call them fries.
steak and chips.
Let's
steak
call
and
them fries, right? It sounds posher when you say
Yeah,
fries.
yeah.
And we did it with fries.
Yeah.
And we also had some broccoli.
Broccoli. I like broccoli.
And some carrots. And then for pudding, we had chocolate ice cream. And we got wine. And was there anything else?
I had to buy a little tiny bottle of brandy for the sauce.
For the sauce, yeah.
Yeah, which we still got. That's virtually all still intact.
Yeah. And that came to 250 New Zealand dollars.
Yeah.
So, well,
Yeah, but it was good steak. It was. I bought a knife fillet and chopped it all up into 8 pieces of steak, which was really nice, wasn't it?
one meal though, Bri, $250.
4 people.
Do you reckon?
It probably would have cost that much to go out, but we brought stuff back with us, you know, because I had to buy pepper because they didn't know.
Right, that's all right then. As long as you brought the peppercorns back with us, they were $1.42.
$4 worth of peppercorns. Well, that's all year, that.
Yeah, but it's a lot of money, isn't it?
It is, but that's what it is when you cook for someone, isn't it? You know, so you know, you look at it as £125 for 4 people if you went to Tesco's and bought all that stuff.
So there you go. There's how much we spent. That's how our $900 came to be. So you know exactly how much we've spent.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: if we'd have gone and spent the money on accommodation. Right, because I looked up Airbnb and found out how much it was. By the time you take into, and I'm not slagging off Airbnb here because we use them a lot. We've got affiliate codes for them and everything on our website. If you use it, you get $46 off or something. But Airbnb's fine. But I think Airbnb for long term, to make up for that cleaning fee, because they charge you a cleaning fee whether you stay there for 2 nights or whether you stay there for a week.
And it can be $80 to $100, can't it? Or something like that for the cleaning fee.
So I went onto Airbnb and I looked for exactly the same sort of house. I mean, it wasn't as nice as the one we were staying in, but let's just say it was a 2-bedroomed home
around the area
with a nice kitchen in that area. $225 a night, but a cleaning fee. So for 3 nights, it came to $800.
Yeah, so it's That's what I say. It's half the price,
It
isn't
is.
it? You can just go.
Why would you not do that?
I know, because if you stayed at home, you would have probably spent in that 4-day period. Because you're driving for 2 days. It doesn't cost you anything, does it? Like other than your fuel, because you're not you're not buying stuff So if we stayed at home, we would have spent probably $400 in that period on food and wine.
Well, would we buy?
Probably not far off it, Liz.
I know.
When you think about it, it's about $100 a day, isn't it, for food at the moment?
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
You'd have still spent $400. So when you look at it, it's cost you $500 extra to go for 3 days away,
And that
instead
doesn't.
of
And that, you might
$1,200.
You might be thinking, well, what you haven't been to see a theatre, you haven't been to, because we were going to go and see some comedy, but then ended up something happened and we didn't. But it was just what we did do was just spent a lot of time in Eastbourne. There's this beautiful walk right by the beach, and it's like I don't want to say it's a coastal walkway, but it's like that, isn't it? It's like a big.
It's a little coastal walkway which you can walk
so
to the town
nice.
and back again and up
And it's
around
so
the
good
coast
because
a bit.
it's one of those walkways, where you walk and you've got the sea right on your left hand side there, as if you're walking to Eastbourne, and then on the right you've got all the big houses, and it's great when you walk at night because they leave their lights on and you can just have a good look in and see what they're doing.
Yeah,
It's really
but it's
interesting,
true,
isn't it? Yeah.
Isn't it funny? In New Zealand, they put the big light on.
Yeah, they do tend to have, whereas we
have side lights.
And candles
and
as
candles,
well.
yeah. Do you know, I was listening to a podcast the other day. I was talking about eyes, and when you're in, what do they call it? The symmetry to the sun, and how there's actually the name for it. I can't remember right off the top of my head. So when the sun goes up and down again. So at night, if you've got the lights, which are the ceiling lights, on, it's really bad. Because your brain naturally thinks the light is coming from above, so it's daytime.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so, and this is an
Which
expert.
makes sense, doesn't it?
She's from Germany, and she's this expert woman who's telling you about it. She said, always make sure you have side lights on at night, because the light comes from the side, which replicates the sun starting to go down.
I'll tell you what, Bri, without knowing it,
Yes,
we are well onto it. We're way
ahead of it.
We're flipping out, aren't we?
For years we've been like it. Yeah.
We've been having those candles on since we first met.
Yeah, and that's
Back
what
in
it's
the
supposed to be.
1980s.
No, you don't get the blue light coming off those candles and stuff. And if you have that the hue type lights, they don't give you as much blue light because you can change the colours of them. Not like those white LEDs at the you walk past their houses and you're like, it's lit up like a showroom, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but it looks lovely. It does look
I think they're
lovely.
just showing their house off, aren't they?
Well, probably, yeah, because why wouldn't you want to? I mean, if you've paid all that money, you're paying millions of dollars to have a house by the beach,
Yeah.
and
Turn
you
your
can
lights
see
on.
two people coming. Oh, here they come! Look, here's two people.
the lights
walking
on
down
quick.
Yeah, quick!
Blow the
Open
candles out.
curtains. Stand here with your glass of wine. Yeah, so we just spent a lot of time just walking, loads of time. We spent some time walking around the shops. Me and Tess went to the charity shops, the op shops as they call them in New Zealand. What else did we do? We drove around. We just spent a lot of time in coffee shops talking, didn't we?
Like I say, we were 25k out of Wellington, and we drove in and out 4 times. So that added an extra, whatever it is, 200k.
Yeah, we
on
didn't
the
get
journey.
the ferry, did we?
No, we could have got the ferry, but Tess was with us or whatever it was. So, yeah. And it's time. It's only 20 minutes in the car, or it's 40 minutes on the ferry because it's a quite
But
slow
I've got to
ferry.
say, when I came back the next day, I was exhausted.
We were whacked, weren't we?
I was.
Yeah.
That's not how it's supposed to be.
No, but
You're just
sometimes
supposed to go away. Do you know what I want to go on, Bri? And I really want to go on this. Can you just listen carefully to this? Because if ever you need to, I have some ideas for
a vegan
present.
retreat.
No, not a vegan retreat. Why would I want to go on that when I've just
Don't
told
know.
you I ate the most succulent, juicy steak I've ever had in my life? No, not vegan.
Go on.
I want to go on a silence retreat.
It's the same thing.
You know, where you just go in the woods and you're not allowed to speak, and they just bring your dinner. All you're allowed to say is red or white. That's the only
Red or
words.
white.
Yes.
That's the only thing. Yeah. What's on the menu is red or white.
When you walk in, you can either tick large dinner or small dinner, large wine or small wine. So just tick large, and then red or white, and then everything else apart from that, you're not allowed to speak.
Okay.
Oh, wouldn't that just be bliss?
Well,
Can you imagine?
why don't I set the tent up for you down in the creek? In the garden,
don't laugh, because I would love that.
And I'll bring.
I would love it.
I'll just get a little zip line with a bottle of wine come down.
Oh, no, I would just love that. Do you know what? There is nothing better, and I've told you this before, and I wonder if you will agree listening to this. There is nothing better than when the power goes off, all the internet goes off, the lights go off.
Yeah, Netflix has gone off.
Yeah, and you're just there, and it's just like that. There is almost like that feeling of just freedom. It sounds crazy because other people might look at that and think, oh my God, I'm restricted or I'm trapped or whatever. But to me, I just always think, free. Thank God, free. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, because you can't do any work.
Well, maybe it is.
Yeah, but
maybe
it is, because having an
maybe
online
no
business,
distractions.
and that's what it comes down to, doesn't it? You don't need to check your emails, you don't need to check that, even though you can, because the cell phone tends to work, doesn't it, for a little bit? But it's true. I just think we're all getting so wound up in what we do, and we're connected 24 hours a day. Your boss can email you at night, or he can message you. Did you get that report done? I'm just, I'm working late, and it's like, well,
it's not right,
you're working
is it,
late.
Brian?
No, it's just that connected all the time.
Anyway, before we go, first of all, I just want to say about the house sitting, because if you have not tried house sitting, if we haven't convinced you now, we've told you a whole weekend in Wellington, literally you are going to be paying half the price of what you would normally pay. And like Bryce said, where we stayed was just, it's nicer than any Airbnb that I've ever stayed in. It was just absolutely lovely. So you can go to the house sitting website and you can have a look. You just put your email in. It doesn't cost you anything. It's completely free. You can have a look at all the places around the world. I mean, literally, you can go to a flipping igloo in Sweden. You can go to a treehouse in Thailand. It's there. You will not believe the places that people put on this site for you to go and house sit in. So the looking part is free. So to get to that part, go to www.itsadrama.com/housesit. So just house it, all one word. That part is free, so you can use that and go there. And then if you want to sign up like we do for a year's subscription, and what that is, it means you can just apply for any house sit that you want to do. You set up your profile.
Yeah, they'll send you an email every day around about 6 o'clock here in New Zealand, doesn't it? Just with the latest house sits.
Yep. And I'm not sure. I think it's around about $160, something like that, a year.
Yeah,
but
depending on what your currency is.
When you look at what we've just saved saved $800 on a weekend in Wellington.
Yeah, three nights.
Yeah, that pays for it. It's a no-brainer. It really is. But we have got a discount code that we can offer you, which you can get 20% off the price of that, so it makes it even cheaper by going to www.itsadrama.com/housesit-discount. So /housesit-discount. And we will put the link in the show notes as well.
Yeah. And like I say, if you want to just go straight to that one, if you don't use that, you won't get the discount. Yeah.
Oh, no, yeah. You don't use the discount if you use that code. Yeah,
It's drama. And, we make a tiny amount of money out of that, just a very small percentage, don't we?
Yeah.
It is an affiliate link.
Yeah, it is an affiliate.
Because we love house sitting. We've done it all over the world.
Well, that's the thing.
How much has it saved us in the
We said
long
this
run?
last week. Don't say it again.
All right.
Just look up last week's.
Yeah.
I think we said it saved us. It saved us thousands.
It's hundreds, not hundreds, tens of thousands of dollars.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Before we go, I just wanted to ask you, Bri.
Yeah.
What did you think of that flipping what's it that we went to?
That flipping what's it?
The restaurant.
Which one?
The one in Wellington in Cuba Street.
What the Vietnam?
No, not the Vietnamese one.
No,
That was
the old
brilliant.
quarter was fantastic, wasn't it? That Vietnamese restaurant, which.
So we went to a restaurant where Brian ordered this gluten. Well, we all ordered gluten-free stuff.
Yep.
Very, very busy place, very popular place. And you ordered some gluten-free stuff. And when it came, what did you order?
I ordered it just said the
chicken burger, was it?
No, it said such and such burger. And you had three options. You had the bacon burger, you had the special house burger, and then you had the chicken burger. And I said, I'll have the special burger. And he said, that one's a vegan one. I thought, actually, I don't know what's going to be in that. So I said, I'll just...
Well, not much of it's vegan. Carrots.
No, but it's not, because they put loads of fillers and stuff in it. And you never know what's in there, to make it look like meat or be meat.
Sorry, vegans. I do love
you.
Yeah,
I haven't got a problem with vegans at all, or vegetarians or anything. And so I said, tell you what, I'll have...
Sorry, I just reminded me when we went down to when we went to see those people in Cornwall. I don't know who it was. We went to we were house sitting, and he just said, I mean, I wouldn't mind. He was talking to us, and he was talking about his kids, and he said, I'm really open. As long as my kids talk to me, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind if they were gay. I wouldn't even mind if they were vegetarian. Just reminded me when you said that. Yeah. Anyway, go on, carry on. Yeah.
And I said, I'll have the chicken burger, gluten-free. And Tess was with me, but the guy, Tess said to me, "Oh, you mumbled your words." And I went, "No, I didn't mumble the words." I said,
Why does she keep saying
he
that?
was too busy looking at you.
You do mumble a little bit there.
And I'd ordered you something with halloumi. And anyway, it was...
Come on, mumbler, quickly.
Yeah, so anyway, it came over and a breaded chicken piece. I said, "I don't want any bread." I said, "I just don't want the bread." And I said, because I don't particularly like gluten-free bread anyway. It's pretty hopeless.
You eat plenty of it.
I know.
You eat it every day for your breakfast.
Yeah. So I just said, "Give me the salad and the onions and the burger." And I said, and it was a plate of fries as well, like, you know. So anyway, it came over and it was like breaded chicken.
It was.
And I was like, that doesn't look gluten-free. So you said to me, go and ask him if it's gluten-free. And I went, I've already asked. And
you were too scared, weren't you?
Yeah.
Were you?
I wasn't too scared. I just couldn't be bothered, Liz. It was
so
just
what were you going to do? Just leave it?
Yeah.
What, and you were just going to waste $25?
I just couldn't be bothered because I'd explained to him 3 times of what we wanted and everything. And everything, even Tess was eating gluten-free and you were eating gluten-free. So it's like, guess what? We don't want any gluten in the meal, thanks. You know.
So let me take over from this story. So I said to Brian, you go over and complain. Take your plate up and go and complain. He said, no, I'm too scared. And I said,
I didn't say I'm too scared. I said, I can't be bothered.
I said, do you want me to do it for you? And you said, yeah, just don't tell him I said though. Just pretend it's...
Yeah, right. Please, let's go up and get it for me. I'll fall down the drain otherwise.
So I went up, and it's one of those places. It's a great cafe, but it's one of those places that
too cool for school.
It
sometimes.
is very, very cool for school. You know, there's a guy working behind the cappuccino machine. He's got one of those, you know, those hats that look like they're falling off the back of your head. They look a little bit like a slug. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know what the name is, but they wear those. And I always think about those hats. I think, how is that stain on your head? How is it not falling off? But he had one of those on, and he had a big, like, you know, khaki, big oversized shirt on, and he was a bit stubble, very good looking actually. And I said, hello there. I said, I said, my little husband over there. He said, no, I didn't. I said, I went up and I said, excuse me. I said, my husband, I lied. I said, my husband's celiac. I said, and he's ordered the chicken burger and it's just come over. I said, is that gluten-free? Is that definitely gluten-free? Do you know what he said?
Probably said yes.
He went, yeah. And I looked at him, I thought, you little liar. And I said, are you sure about that? And he looked at me and he went, yep. I went, so that burger over there that he's about to eat, bearing in mind he's celiac, I said, you're telling me that's definitely gluten-free? And he went, I'm just going to go and check with the kitchen. And that little sod, he went into the kitchen, Bri, and I could see the kitchen because it was all open at the back, and I could see the chef in there with his white coat on, and he was doing some frying. And he went over and he said something to the chef. Guess what the chef did? He took a ticket off the top of the thing and he threw it on the floor. Like, you know what is it with chefs?
I don't know. Cocky asses.
Yeah, they have these like tantrums, like acting like a baby, as if like. And
he's actually the owner.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
And I was putting 2 and 2. Well, he's probably thinking, right, well, I've just wasted that $25.
Why haven't you written gluten-free on the bloody thing?
And he was angry. He was really angry. And and the guy came back out. Didn't look so cool now. Holding the back of his, you know, his berry thing on his head.
Thinking I need to tighten that up a bit now. It's falling off.
Chef's just knocked this off.
That's probably why he wears it, so he doesn't get whacked with a rolling pin.
Oh God!
But wasn't it funny when Tess?
No, hang on, I haven't finished yet.
Yeah.
And he comes over and he just looked like a little sheep. He looked so sorrowful, and he said, I'm really sorry. He said, I hope your husband hasn't eaten any of that because it wasn't gluten-free. And then I just felt really sorry for him. And I was like, oh, he's not really celiac. It's just pretended. No, I didn't. I said, oh, don't worry. I said, he's only eaten a couple of tomatoes and onions and stuff. And he said, oh, we'll get the chef to make it again.
Yeah. I remember when the halloumi, like you had a corn stack, didn't you? And that was supposed to be gluten-free as well. I don't think it was. I'd ordered it with halloumi gluten-free, and then the halloumi didn't turn up. And Tess is looking at me, and I said, "You said, where's the halloumi?" I said, "I ordered it," and Tess looked at me as if like, "Oh no, you didn't.
No, you didn't, mumbler.
No, mumbler didn't hear you say halloumi." And then literally 2 minutes later, it just turned up at the table, and she's just like, massive.
Do you think she thinks we're getting old and silly,
Yes.
Bri?
Yeah.
She doesn't realise how cool we are.
I know.
With our flipping
She doesn't realise we do a
candles.
podcast.
No, I know.
No.
We're well cool, and she doesn't see any of this. She just thinks we're two old fuddy-duddies and mumblers.
Yeah. She
And
never
makes me
listened to our
sit in-
podcast either, so she'll never hear this.
It's me
Why is it
sitting
your
in the
kids
back of
never
the
listen
car.
to your mums and dad's podcast?
Oh, she does. She's been on a couple of our podcasts. But before, we're running out of time now anyway. But I wanted to talk about I wanted to talk about us when we owned a cafe in Bath.
Well, why don't we save that for the next one?
Oh, shall I? Shall I tell the story about when we owned a cafe in Bath and we told everyone that our things were gluten free?
Free range eggs, the lot, weren't they? These are organic. Organic, yeah, everything's organic in here, mate. Yeah, it is when it hits the toilet.
Oh my God, Brian!
Oh, yeah, well, that was the days
Don't
before.
admit to that. I
Silly
wasn't
Billy
gonna
stuff.
say
No
all
killer
that.
whites in here.
I wasn't actually going to admit to all that. I was going to tell you the story about when we used to do that ham, and that guy came in and said, "That's not real ham."
Yeah, we
and
had,
we were like, "Yes,
yeah.
it is."
We
And it
had
was
the
just
weights.
it's like that roll of slime.
Weights and measures came in, or whatever they were called, like, you know, or trades description people. They came in and said,
I've had a complaint.
he had a complaint that because the one guy came in one day and he had a plain ham sandwich and a plain cheese sandwich, and I'm like, and he had this just a typical civil servant, like, you know.
What's
and
that? What does that mean?
Works for the government.
Oh, right.
You know, or the council or whatever.
There's
like,
nothing
you know?
wrong with people who work for the
No,
government.
but I'm just saying he just looked like an old-fashioned one, like,
Oh,
you know,
did
as
he?
if he'd like
Jobsworth.
a little,
Yeah.
little shit, basically.
Right.
And they have a word for those people, but you're not allowed to say that on the podcast. And 2 days later, he turns up and goes, "Are you the owner?" And I went, "Yes, I am today." Because Liz obviously won't want to deal with this. I should have just pointed at you. I went, "Go and see her." And he said, "Just to let you know that I've had a complaint about your ham isn't ham." And I went, "Yeah, it is."
He's never seen a pig in his life.
And he said, "It's not." And I went, "It is. We buy it from Iceland next door." And I said, "It says ham on the what's name?" And he said, "Well, babe, it's not ham." And I went, "Yes, it is." I got the packet out and I stuffed it in his face and I said, "Ham." And he went, No, it underneath it says it's it's not on the bone." And I went, "Yeah, but it says ham there." So how is it they can sell it for ham and I can't? And he went, No, yeah, because it. And I went, "Oh," I said, you just."
What'd you say, Brian? What'd you say?
I said, you're just splitting hairs
Yeah,
now.
splitting
I
hairs.
said, and that to me, I said, that's just, it's not right.
Get out, piggy.
Yeah, so piss off. And luckily, literally, we'd had enough of that ham because it was like rubber, wasn't it? It was, it was pink rubber.
Oh my God. Do you know?
God knows what it was. It was sliced ham.
Do you
probably,
know what? Look, people are going to think that we had a really rubbish cafe and
No,
we
it
were
was
in
a
the
great-
paper.
yeah,
We
but-
won awards for our cafe.
Yeah, I know we did, but
Brian.
literally, Liz, this was taken over from the old guy, and we literally
We didn't have a clue
I'd
at
spent
first.
weeks trying to find a decent ham supplier and a decent turkey and chicken supplier, so we weren't using this packet stuff anymore, like, you know. And literally the next week we were chatting. I said, "Listen, don't worry, we're not using this one anymore because it's not that great."
Because it's not ham. It lasts 18
I know
months.
it looks like ham, but it's never hugged in its life.
Right, okay, we're going to go now. So until next time, when we come back to you next week from New Zealand, have a great week and we will speak to you soon.
So kia kaha, stay strong, kia u, stay true, and like Liz said, we'll see you next week from New Zealand.
Okay,
Go steady.
bye.
Bye.
Don't forget, if you would like to try house sitting around the world, see all these fabulous houses that are just there waiting for travellers like you to go and sit in them for absolutely free, then check out www.itsadrama.com/housesit.
And don't forget, if you like what you see, then head on over to itsadrama.com/housesit-discount and you will get around about $50 off your membership, which you're going to get to be able to stay in these same places that we've stayed in all over the world.
Absolute bargain. Don't forget what I said to you. You save that within the first night of wherever you stay.
Yep.
So head on over there and grab that brilliant discount that is just for It's a Drama. Okay?
Just for you.
And let us know what you think of those house sits. Speak to you soon.
Don't forget, you can always email me. Bye.